We got 10 seconds till we're live. You ready, Mark? Here we go. Mics are hot right now.
Yes. Listen.
I know what you're from.
It's a family affair.
Man, I love having these YGs in the house. They just jump right in. These are young geniuses. That's what YG stands for. Young geniuses.
There you go.
We have some regular listeners on Family Matters, and they're YGs. They're young folk.
Yeah.
And they want a show that kind of relates to them. There is an epidemic of harassment and sexual deviance affecting young women that we need to talk about.
The YGs in here, we work with young people. We see how the trauma matriculates, right? How it grows. So if you have a young person that's abused at 9, that affects 15, that affects 30, that affects 40, that affects 50. And then you have this cycle of a mentality that's based off of trauma.
First of all, this is something that isn't new. I think this harassment isn't new. Will Smith said it best. It's just being televised. It's just being recorded. So this idea of that harassment. I mean, think about it, we have some famous people of color who have done some things, who are on prominent TV shows.
Cosby.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say it. All right, we'll say it.
Hopefully, the views expressed are those of mine alone and not of radio station KDEE 97.5.
I don't know what that man.
Like I said before, I hope it just doesn't stay a movement. If someone in the Sacramento community is moved by this Me Too, start something up. Have a place where people who have experienced that can talk about it. Unfortunately, I wasn't surprised, and I'm not surprised at my Facebook timeline at the amount of women having not experienced it. We have a responsibility to those who have suffered that, to let them know that they're loved, that they're wanted, that they're important, that what happened to them was not their fault.
It's back to what you said, Jan. A whole lot of folks got a lot of rhetoric, but at some point rhetoric and reality has to come together.
Manifest Destiny. That was the first narrative. That Manifest Destiny has shaped American culture, especially for African Americans, black folks in this country.
Make sure that I define it the way you're using it. So Manifest Destiny, we in charge because God ordained us to be in charge.
Absolutely.
And whatever we got to do to maintain that is get out of our way.
Yes.
We're going to colonize, we're going to bombard, we're going to dehumanize. And I kind of agree with you on that. And we got that baton handed to us from Great Britain, by the way.
Yes, it's the whole kneeling, standing, pledging of the flag. That narrative belongs to Manifest Destiny. Now, if you have, like my brother Chris Bueno, or the social architects who you say, okay, this is how we're going to do it because I'm telling my own story. Social architects is telling its own social story.
So my perspective comes from what we've built with my organization, For Your Epiphany Foundation Incorporated, and it's all about culture. I'm talking culture as in representation. You got to create the narrative, and right now the narrative is not there. Where's the high expectation at for our people, OG or Y or young OG? Where is the narrative? So we are the representative of the urban young professional, and we create spaces where we can all come together and put our stamp on the world, whether it be fun or whether it be educationally or whether it just be networking. We build a space for that.
This is an Eric Thomas quote: stop making excuses and make adjustments.
I love it.
You want to get to greatness? Stop making excuses and make adjustments.
Y'all ain't scared. These brothers here ain't scared. Part of this requires us not being scared, whether it comes to hiring
Or
other.
even if you are scared,
What?
still moving forward, because that's the definition of being courageous. You still are afraid.
Teach me something,
but
sister.
Still
Teach me
moving
something, young
forward.
sis.
Bravery is the absence of fear.
So I actually own my nonprofit. I've been in business since 2014. I've served over 5,000 students, and it's a nonprofit that works with Sac City Unified, that works with my sister Jan D. Bernard, and it's all about identity, leadership, and empowerment.
Nice.
And my nonprofit pushes that.
Hope these folks will come back and join us. They tore it up. I'm getting all kinds of texts, and I do check my Facebook page. We have a Family Matters Forum, #1 Facebook page. It's time for Family Matters on KDEE. Thank you so much for listening. Walk in peace and embrace one another in love.